So welcome. If you guys are just joining, pop me a little comment below. I would love to see where you're tuning in from. If this is your first live stream with me, I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Cyndi Williams. I'm known as the Wanderlust CEO, or my clients call me the travel career coach, because I teach people how to launch, grow, and scale amazing, portable, profitable travel businesses. That's what I do all day long. I also own my own award-winning travel agency called Tripsy Travel. And we bring this live stream as part of our education platform, part of our advocacy work that we do in the industry. And it actually streams out as a show on Roku and Amazon. It's called Bliss to Abundance. That's also the same name of our podcast. So if you haven't already, make sure you check us out on Roku or Amazon. And if you're listening on the podcast, if you're listening to the Bliss to Abundance podcast and you want to see, because we're going to have some hilarious things that we're going to show you on today's live stream, you can watch it later on a few places, on YouTube, here on Facebook, on the Cyndi Williams Travel Career Coach page, or we have this awesome group called Careers on Vacation that you can also check out, which is free. If you're in the travel industry or even thinking about it, definitely check us out in some or all of those places. So without further ado, you guys have been asking me for this topic for a couple of weeks now, coronavirus, and I can always sense when like a topic is kind of reaching that moment where people are like, help! And we've reached that point. And it's funny because after 25 years in this industry, I've seen a lot of stuff, right? Like we've been through like 9/11, lots of other crisis type situations. And so in our veteran community, or like in our grad group, the clients that I work with, it's not really that panicky because we know how to handle these situations. We do it like a pro. And in fact, we take these situations and actually make our business more profitable, more abundant, and at the same time becoming heroes for our clients. So I'm going to talk today about how you can do that. And I'm also going to talk about the top mistakes I see that a lot of travel advisors making during this process that you might not even realize that you're making. So let's get into it. First and foremost, if you're new, I always say you have to know 3 things about me. 1, I love travel. That's probably an obvious one. 2, I have an amazing coffee mug collection. I totally stole this from my husband today. I have Bumblebee, right, from Transformers, from Universal. So I would share one of my travel mugs. So we're doing Bumblebee today because I felt like we needed that masculine superpower energy for taking on coronavirus today. And I love earrings. I love travel, getting earrings while I travel. Today I have Rafiki on, so I'm kind of like sourcing this Lion King vibe. So fun stuff. So first thing I want to do with you guys, let me go over to my video screen. I want to actually, let's see if it'll let me share my screen here from the webinar. I think it will. So I want to start, give me 1 second, because I want to get all of my stuff in place here to share with y'all. One moment. I want to start with a little funny this morning, because I think in situations like this, it can feel really heavy, right? But I wanted to share this with you first. So this is, first of all, I grew up in Michigan. I live in Austin now. I love Austin. But for you Michiganders out there, you know that whenever it comes to a virus or a cold or the flu, it's Berners. It's a Berners ginger ale is going to do the job. So I saw this meme. My brother posted it, and I thought it was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. So it's like, come on, coronavirus, we got Berners in Michigan. We're not scared, which is hilarious to me. And then someone from my team just this morning posted this other one. CEOs of Purell and Lysol right now. Yes, get your Purell, get your Lysol. But I just thought that those were hilarious. And I have some more things to share with you guys a little bit later. But I thought that would be a fun way to start today's live stream to make everybody giggle a little bit. So let's start with kind of the top mistakes I see some of you making out there. And you might not even realize that you're doing it. The first and most obvious mistake is you guys are panicking. right? Like you're freaking out. When you get into panic mode, that is for making bad decisions, right? And then it kind of leads on a trail. I know coronavirus feels heavy. I know the news seems like super scary and they're like, oh, this is going on and the sky is falling and everybody's gonna die. Right? And if you're in that place where you've never dealt with a situation like this before, it's like, oh my gosh, where do I even get started? But the truth is, like, the veterans that have been through this stuff before, we're not really freaking out because it's not really like our first rodeo, if that makes sense. I have another, let me share this with you guys real quick. This was actually posted, hang on one second, I gotta find where I am, there we go. One of in our Cruise on Vacation group, I think someone posted this, and I loved it, and then since then I've seen it in several different places. Let me make sure you guys can see this. Okay, I think you guys can see that. So, and going back 25 years, right? Like I started before this chart started. I started back in 93, 94 is when I started in the industry. So this is all the stuff we've been through: anthrax, West Nile, SARS, bird flu, E. coli, swine flu, the Y2K, Disney measles, Zika, all the crazy stuff. And some of this, of course, is like political stuff. I'm not reading that off. But this year, it's coronavirus, right? It's new and it seems scary, and I get that. But I want to just put it in perspective that any business at any time can be impacted by things that go on in the world. And by the way, those are just like the, infectious type of stuff, right? You also have terrorist attacks and other stuff that can happen in the industry that can impact day-to-day operations, natural weather events, snowstorms, hurricanes. If you're thinking about getting in travel business right now, do not be scared. I'm going to tell you it's okay, but this might be freaking you out. But listen, any business can have these challenges, and we have seen them all. We've done the weather stuff. Every year winter comes, right? And we have hurricanes, we have this kind of stuff that happens. So step number one, and really the key, is to make sure that you're getting your information from a reliable source, which I'm going to tell you, like, number one, don't watch the news. Like, stop doing that to yourself. It's one of those things where I want you to be informed, but I don't want you to get into that hyped up, media presence where this is the only thing going on in the world right now, and they're just bombarding you with negative. So I'm going to show you, like, right now where you need to go and where we get our information and how we decide how we're going to advise our clients and move forward. So if you're new to the industry, this might be news to you. If you're not, this is probably not news to you. But let me just share once again. I should have just stayed sharing because I'm doing a lot of sharing today. One second. One moment. Get over to where I'm going to head over to is the cdc.gov website. And I want to point out a couple of key things for you guys. So I think you guys can see that. Can you guys see that okay? So first and foremost, I'm on the cdc.gov website, and I'm looking at specifically the situation summary for the US. So this was updated just yesterday. So depending on when you're watching this live stream, if you're watching it later, you can go get the most updated. They update this every day, Monday through Friday. And this is where we're at in the US. We've had 60 cases, we've had 6 deaths, and we have 12 states that are reporting information in. So at a glance, numbers wise, that's how we're impacted at the US level right now. The second thing that I usually look at on the site is I look at what's called the risk assessment section to say what is, and this is specifically for the US. So you can see a couple of key things here. For most of the American public who are unlikely to be exposed, or for most of the American public who are unlikely to be exposed to the virus at this time, the immediate health risk is considered low. People and communities where ongoing community spread of the virus has been reported are elevated are still relatively low risk for exposure. Healthcare workers caring for patients, duh, of course we would expect that they would have an elevated risk of exposure. They're caring for those that have it. And then those in close contact, this is not news. If one kid has a cold, the other kid usually gets a cold, right? And then travels returning from affected international locations. So that's the current assessment. Then up here, it also says at this time, most people in the United States will have little immediate risk or exposure to the virus. The virus is not currently spreading widely in the US. Now, this can change, but as of today, as of right now, that is the information. It is what it is. It's the most up to date. It's directly from the CDC. From this, you will see the media channels spin all kinds of crazy stuff. But this is the reality of the situation. The other area I really want you to pay attention to, this is what the page looks like when you land on it. You can go right down to Traveler's Health and click the travel notices. This is where you can get the actual warning levels for the areas all over the world that are impacted, okay? So, for example, Italy is considered level 3. Italy is not closed off, but it is avoiding non-essential travel. So if you don't have to go to Italy, it's probably recommended that you don't until they update this or take the level down. Iran is the same thing, South Korea is the same thing, and China, which does not include Hong Kong and those other areas mentioned. And Venezuela is not included. That's a different health one that's out there. So that's, other health updates. But as far as coronavirus, which is what we're talking about today, these are the only 4 places that are at a level 3. Now, if you want to look at level 2, we have a couple level 2s. We have Japan. That's it at level 2 right now. And then level 1, Hong Kong, dengue in the Americas. That's it. That's what we have in terms of what's on the CDC site. So I want to encourage you guys to earmark that as you go through working with your clients. Understand that's the best place to get your information, where it's not going to be, hype story after hype story after hype story. Another scientific journal that I read this morning, the media is not talking about at all, and it's the fact that this virus is actually not impacting hardly any children. Of all of the cases, less than 2% of children are getting it, and of that 2%, most of them are extremely mild cases, is what I read on this journal earlier today. And I thought, wow, that's fascinating. No one's talking about that, right? Because it doesn't sell newspapers or make you tune in or whatever the case is. It made me feel great and more confident because, of course, a lot of times people are concerned about their children. Children have a better immune system than most. And so this is one of those things, guys, where whether it's coronavirus or the next one that pops up next year or 3 years from now, this is the process. Get your information from a good source and advise your clients with the current information available. That's, my best advice in terms of that piece. Don't get into the hype of the situation. The other thing came out, which I thought was a great article, on Forbes magazine, or Forbes.com, not Forbes magazine, Forbes.com. There was a great article about should I cancel my trip? And in the article, it says, let me see if I can find the author of this, Christopher Elliott. So if you want to find it, Christopher Elliott on Forbes.com. Excellent article. And he really gets to the heart of the question, which are the things that the guidelines we use when we're advising clients. And his questions are, number 1, is your destination affected by the coronavirus outbreak? Are you going to one of those places we just talked about? If not, go on vacation. Enjoy your trip. It's not an impacted area. Number 2, are you part of a group that is at risk for coronavirus? So older people or people with pre-existing conditions. There's some verbiage in there that, if you're in that group, you may want to be more cautious. If not, go on vacation. Have a great time, right? And lastly, do you have travel insurance? If you cancel, will your travel insurance cover your costs? Those are things that you guys need to be answering for your clients. And there's different insurance companies, they have different policies. So that's something you're going to have to check and get back to your clients on. But those are really the questions, guys, when you're deciding if someone's like, oh, I'm going to Australia, do I need to cancel? No, not really. There's not really a reason why you would need to do that. So that's where you guys that's like the number one mistake, and kind of how I would rectify that, if that's helpful. The second, actually, let's see, hang on, I have lots of notes for you guys today. Number two mistake, if you are new, again, in that place where this feels heavier, it feels like a lot of you are jumping right into a scarcity mindset. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by a scarcity mindset? The sky is falling. I'm going out of business. I shouldn't start a travel business. I should run for the hills. This is crazy. You're putting yourself in the scarcity mindset really for no reason. If anything, jumping into the industry when an event like this is happening is actually a helpful process, because if you learn through the process, then the easy days make it even extra easy. Does that make sense? We had someone in our mastermind last night. So I run a 12-week mastermind on how to teach people how to launch, grow, and supersize their travel businesses. And we were talking, coronavirus is like the second question that was asked. And I was giving them best practices, processes, how to handle the situation, all the things that you need to know in more, in-depth detail that we cover in the program. But one of the newbies spoke up and she said, I am so glad that I took this program while this was going on, because now I feel like I'm prepared to handle any crazy situation that pops up, not just handle it, but actually build business during this process because of the things that they're learning behind the scenes, which you can do in this situation and be your client's hero. So there's no need for a scarcity mindset. Don't change your plans. Don't, adjust. If you're new to handling this in the business, know this is part of the learning curve. If you're going it alone, it's going to feel harder because you don't have a support team and you don't have people that you can ask, but this is par for the course. Being a business owner is not all rainbows and butterflies, right? Unicorns. Sometimes there's tough stuff that happens. And if you can make yourself the hero in that situation, you are actually building clients for life. We're going to talk about that a little further in a second. I also wanted to give you guys like a reality check. So I've just been watching feeds. I didn't even ask my graduate community, but I have the greatest Facebook feed in history, because I've trained, I've impacted thousands of people, for travel, and I've had hundreds and hundreds of clients that have gone through my programs, and I'm on all of their feeds. So when I open up Facebook in the morning, every morning, it's like travel everything. So of course I'm seeing a lot of the stuff that's popping up. And I have to say, from my graduate group and from my clients who are in the business or in the mastermind, and my experienced agents who are in the mastermind right now actively, I asked them last night, and then on the feeds I'm seeing other things. I want to share some stories to help reassure you guys. So one, I had a graduate send me a message this week that said, Cyndi, oh my gosh, I went from $4,000 to selling $87,000 in February. There's a post on it somewhere on my Cruise on Vacation page. So February coronavirus did not stop her. And she literally, brand new travel agent, just launched her business a couple months ago, sold almost $90,000, almost $100K month for her a couple months into opening her business, right? Because she has the tools, processes, set up, all that stuff. But most importantly, mindset. I have another grad that was contacted from a local news channel to say, hey, can you come on the news and talk to us about coronavirus and how it's impacting your business? And she posted and she said, guys, I've been invited on the news, but I have to say it hasn't really impacted my business. So I think what I'm going to say is that we're open as usual, and call your travel agents, and business as normal, but of course we're advising you on impacted areas, kind of thing. And I was like, yes, that's genius. I had another veteran, I think in the COV page, post a great post about everything that she's seen. They're doing record-breaking sales. It's not stopping us. The two, we had two really experienced agents in my mastermind last night, and I said, guys, have you seen an impact? And one was like, I've adjusted, a vacation. People have questions, but we're still booking. We're still, profitable. We're still doing everything. If anything else, we're growing, right? So a couple of stories there. Another one from my team, my husband came to me and he said, look, I know you don't jump into the fear mindset. He said, but we have a pretty big company now. We should probably ask our staff. We're taking our staff on a cruise. Okay. So in a couple months, we have this team cruise planned where we're taking the entire company. And he said, I know you're not scared, honey, but he said, let's just check in with our staff and make sure everyone's comfortable. And I said, okay, you know what? That totally makes sense, because just because I'm 100% comfortable doesn't mean my staff might be. So just as a courtesy. And so we talked about it and we're like, hey, even if we have to spend more money or change locations or postpone, let's see how the team's feeling. And keep in mind, my team is made up of all, pretty much travel professionals. Then we have some experts that we hire as well, consultants. So we posted a poll in the group. 100%. The choices were go as planned, delay and kind of see how things go, or find a different location that's not a cruise. And 100% of our staff voted go as planned. Like, right, we're modeling the behavior that we're asking of our clients. Like, we're not going to an impacted area. We're not in one of those risk groups. So we're going to go and we're going to have an amazing time, and we're going to model what we're doing for our clients as well. So hopefully that helps encourage you guys to know that we're not slowing down with I have a business trip. I'm going to a huge convention in California in a couple weeks. We're not making changes where those things are concerned. So we're really modeling that behavior. The number 3 mistake I see happening out in the world is making bad decisions as a result of all of this stuff going on. So what do I mean by that? An example of a bad decision so if this might be, whoops, hang on, got a little background on my feedback. An example of a couple bad decisions I've seen people say, oh my gosh, I'm going to stop marketing and see how this goes. And I'm like, no, whenever there's a potential gap in business, whether it be for weather or for, a crisis like this that's going on, you up your marketing. You never, excuse me. I got a tickle cough. We're building a pool. There's so much dust. One moment. I'm going to cough it out here. So you never, ever, ever stop your marketing. That's one of the worst things that you can do. Your marketing equals leads, which equals profitability. So why would you stop your marketing? Never stop your marketing on an average day. And then if there's an anticipated change in business, you up your marketing. You don't back off of your marketing. It's one of the worst things you can do. So increase it. That's what you want to do if you're having any challenges, or if you specifically sell to markets that are impacted by those areas. Like if you do a lot of business to China and things like that, or Italy, then you want to up your marketing for other areas to kind of compensate so it doesn't impact your cash flow. Those are things that we teach in our mastermind too, but just kind of a tip there. The other mistake I see people making is they take I'm going to give up, this business isn't for me, or I'm going to wait and see, let me wait and see how stuff goes. Like, no, you're letting that scarcity mindset get to you. Every business has different types of challenges. You need to learn to navigate challenges to be the most successful that you can be. And, to share like a story with you guys, I opened another business. I had about 12 years ago now, I was operating my travel business more as a hobby business, kind of like some of you guys may be doing today. And I had another business that my husband and I decided we were going to start. It was a franchise, cleaning franchise. And we put our entire life savings into it. We wrote a $30,000 check to the franchise. Then we took out a $150,000 SBA loan and got the business. We set up in July. Our open date was like July 1st of 2008. And then 2 or 3 months later was when, of course, they're announcing on the news, this is the worst recession ever. Everybody's losing their job. Everyone's losing their homes. There's people on the street, blah, 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 blah. If you listened to the news during that period, you definitely thought the sky was falling. And we really had to, my husband and I had left really good paying jobs, right? So it was one of those things where we had to go, oh my gosh, let's reassess. Do we need to reassess? No, we decided to adopt a failure is not an option mentality. And that's what we did. And I will tell you, we didn't listen. We made an agreement. We were not going to watch the news. We were going to focus on our business, growing it, what we needed to do, whatever it took. And that's what we did. In the next 2 years, we built that into a multiple six-figure business, the largest of that type of business in the state of Texas. And then the 7th or 8th largest in the entire country over the next 2 to 3 years. So, and we did that during the recession. So I consider it like a badge of honor. If you can be successful in an environment where everyone is telling you you're failing and everyone is telling you, it's not going to work, learning in the fire and doing the extra things that you have to do sometimes to make yourself successful, it only makes you more successful in the good times. Learning in the bad times is so, it's a growth accelerator. It's exactly what it is. So if you're thinking about starting a travel business, don't postpone. It's not really impacting sales that much in the most markets that you're selling when you're new anyway. And 2, learn, get in and get those stripes. And if you're in a place where it's feeling like overwhelming, or you feel like you're swimming in panic, then you might need to get some extra support. Right? That's when you want to think about maybe applying for Careers on Vacation to see if you can get into the program, work with us, and we will handhold you through these processes to make sure you're set up for success. And I saw this quote the other day, and I want you guys to I want this to be your quote this week, or maybe even this month, depending on how long it takes you to clear your energy of this, thing that's floating around in your world. Fear is a reaction. Courage is a decision. Right? When you react in fear, you go further away from your goal. Further, further, further. Your goal's still there. You're going to have to work a lot harder to build up to it again. If you are courageous about growing your business, courageous about starting your business, courageous about moving forward, you will be successful because you are making a decision, which is taking action, which is changing your energy. And you're basically telling the universe, and you're putting your mindset in a place where you're like, I don't know what's going on with everyone else, but I'm sailing my ship over here. We're going to be successful. And here's what's going to happen. Right? That's why mindset is so powerful whenever you go through any situation, but particularly one like this, which can feel suffocating when it's new or heavy or you haven't gone through it before. Like, I've been through a million of these now, so it doesn't feel like anything to me. I'm like, all right, this is going to cause a few extra phone calls. We're going to have to do some education with the clients, but we're actually turning it around. We're so good at it now that we are using it as an upsell opportunity and a cross-sell opportunity, and being a hero to our clients, right? What do I mean by that? So things like having best practices, like how we educate our clients, how we reach out to them in our communication processes, how if they are going to those affected areas, we handle the situation. We don't just say, oh, let's cancel your trip. Call me when you're ready for the next one. No, we have a whole process to say, hey, where do we want to transfer those vacation dollars to? And we have a whole process that we follow to make sure that we're just converting it to another vacation. And then the client's like, man, you guys are amazing. I'm going to tell all my friends about you, right? There's little things that we do along the way that help build confidence with your clients. So not only are you the rock star in the situation, their advocate in the situation, their hero in the situation, you're creating customers for life. You're creating more referrals if you know how to do it right. And that's what I want to get across. Get out of the sky is falling and get into the where's the opportunity. Your opportunity is to step up and serve your clients at the highest level. Your opportunity is to offer cross-sells and upsells. If they're doing last-minute rebooking, it's going to be more money, and that's going to mean more commission for you. They still want to go on vacation, right? So if you take a different approach, I promise it will transform your business. And if these things seem overwhelming, I really do want to encourage you to reach out. We don't have a lot of spots for Careers on Vacation. We are on wait lists, but as our graduates are graduating, we have a couple spots over the next couple months that we can get new clients into. Take our course. It will be the best money you ever spend. So you learn these processes, you learn the best practices, you get all the support you need, and your business will be off and running and doing amazing as you go forward. So guys, I just want to Thank you for tuning in today's live stream. I hope this was helpful. I hope that it builds your confidence. Stop. If I have one thing I want to tell you today, turn off the news, right? Go to the sites, get the info, advise your clients, but turn off the news, get yourself back on track, brush it off. There's going to be another one of these next year and probably the year after that. So if you get really good at it, you're going to be awesome at this business. So don't give up for something silly. Like, don't let coronavirus kill your dream, right? We don't want that. So I love you guys. I wish you guys so much love and abundance. If you're interested in applying for the Careers on Vacation Mastermind, go to careersonvacation.com/ready now, and we'll do a free discovery call and help you assess your business and see if it's a fit to work together. And until next week, I'll see you guys then. Have a great week, guys.
Meg loves to travel. She's tired of her stressful job and wishes she could have her own travel business. Meg heard travel agents get amazing discounts and work from home or while they travel. This sounds perfect, but Meg has no idea where to start. Meg is worried she will fail because she's never worked in travel, and launching a business is overwhelming. That's when Meg found Careers on Vacation, which taught Meg everything she needed to launch her portable, profitable travel business. Meg got to work with industry expert Cyndi Williams and the Careers on Vacation team to launch her travel business in just weeks. Now Meg is helping families book dream vacations, earning amazing commissions, and traveling the world. Meg is so grateful she found Careers on Vacation.